Am I an idiot for telling my parents off for always favoring my adopted sister over me? When I, male 27, was 3, my parents, male 51, and female 49, adopted my newborn sister. She is deaf and learned to lead lips incredibly well. She also got better grades and had more friends. I had a few while she was very social despite her disabilities than me as a child, and my parents always called her the best gift they could have asked for. They favored her and gave her everything she asked for. They both made a lot of money and sent her to a very nice private school, while I went to a weekly funded public school 2 blocks from my house. When I was 11, I was made fun of and bullied by a kid in my class, and my father told me to toughen up. I went to my teacher, who filed a report to the principal, who didn't do much later, and my father called me weak for going to my teacher about a bully. The birthday parties for me were not really parties, but where I asked them to make my favorite dinner and they reluctantly agreed. My sister received massive parties, where my parents typically got her around 10 expensive gifts on top of everything else. They funded her college education in full, while they had told me to make do with the tiny bits of money they gave me for chores that I had been saving. More recently, they have asked me straight to my face why I wasn't as intelligent, social, and successful as my sister. Mind you, I make 20K more than her with no degree. Recently, she got engaged to a guy, who I'm currently good friends with and even learned sign language for my sister early in their relationship. They held a dinner party, where they openly talked about how they wish they had another golden child like my sister. They then asked me why I couldn't be like her. I got up and asked to talk to them outside. I told them that they were neglectful assholes who never cared about me and that they were bad parents. I then argued with them further, and they said that they were simply trying to make her feel better about her disability. By the end of the argument, they admitted they never wanted a son, and always wanted a child that would impress people and who would make them look good. I left angrily and told my best friend about it, who said that it was good that I was stranded with them. However, the rest of my family, excluding my sister, believed that I was an ungrateful, whiny witch who never appreciated what I had. Of course, this is after years of my parents telling them lies and after they told them a twisted version of the conversation. Am I the idiot for losing it to my parents for treating my sister much better than me for years and thinking of me as less than her? Update. I followed the advice of some people in the comments and sent an email to my relatives. I told them they didn't have any proof that I was ungrateful and unappreciative for what I had, except for my parents' word, which wasn't much. I also asked why they never came to a single one of my birthday parties, why I went to a much shittier school, and why I spent so much time in my room when they came to visit, something I really didn't mention in my first post. They wanted me upstairs in my room for about 75% of all visits because they said they were embarrassed by me. I also had my sister vouch for me, saying they only wanted a golden child. About half of them believe me now, some still can't decide who's in the right, and some are saying that it's reasonable to want a perfect child and that kids are nuisances, and that my parents were 100% in the right. I also determined that my sister had to know something was off. I told her that it would be a bit before I trusted her 100% again. She agreed, seemed surprised when I said it though. I've looked into therapy as well and my first appointment is in 2 weeks. Currently, I still have an urge to call my parents because I don't want to lose them, in case they change their minds. Something else in my head is telling me not to though. One of my close friends even told me that I should sue my parents, and that their wife's brother worked for a really good firm and that they could help me hire them. I don't really think the neglect was that serious for a lawsuit, however. Not the idiot. Opus, I would totally go no contact with them. They admitted that they never actually wanted you, so give them what they want. You are no longer their child. They will never hear from you again. Not the idiot. Definitely not in the wrong. They say they never wanted a son. I say give them that wish and cut them off permanently. Keep them out of your life. They are toxic, abusive, and you don't deserve that treatment. Anyone who takes up their view needs to be cut off as well. Your parents aren't going to change. They will continue to make you miserable if you allow them to. Should Opus cut his parents off? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for making my sister's perfect BF leave my parents' home? My female 33, sister Kate, female 38, has been seeing Dave, male 40, for 3 or 4 years now. They met during COVID, so we never really spent much time with him, so it feels like less. She never really seems to have gotten out of the honeymoon phase, because she never shuts up about him. None of it is particularly impressive. It's just normal stuff. He owns his own home. He drives a nice car. Her kids like him. It's also basic. My dad and I used to bond over making fun of him. He works in a job from home and my dad always thinks office workers are soft. Over time, Dave has sucked up to my dad. He built Dad a barbecue pit and set up cameras around his house. He did a few home repairs for my parents' house, and now my dad treats him like the son he never had. They go fishing together, which my dad has never shown any interest in before. My husband has gone a few times and says he always feels like a third wheel even though my dad has known him since high school. The incident happened the other day. My daughter, 6 Mo, has been going through a fussy phase. She just cries constantly and won't sleep for more than an hour. My family were having a party and I asked my mother to take the baby because I just wanted a break from the crying 3 inches from my ear and lie down. I ended up sleeping for 4 hours and came down to find goddamn Dave holding my baby. I quickly took my baby back to feed her and she started crying again after the bottle finished. My mom said to give her to Dave because he was able to soothe her the last time. I said no, I didn't want someone who wasn't family holding her. My mom tried to argue, but it's my choice and I didn't want him anywhere near her. My mom must have said something to Kate because they left soon after and Kate was glaring at me. Most of my family think I'm an awe, even though I didn't actually ask them to leave. I think I was perfectly in my rights to not want him to hold my baby. You're the idiot. What's your problem with Dave? Listen, when you have a kid, and you decide to wander off and take a 4-hour nap, you better be grateful for whatever capable person that stepped up to take care of your kid. You probably don't have a lot of people to do that for you, since no one outside the family is allowed to hold your baby. Your language about this guy is so dismissive, but you can't provide any instance about why you don't like him. But that line about your husband feeling like a third wheel is very telling. He was probably the golden boy, right? Having known your family since high school. But you don't mention anything your husband has done to help your family. Then Dave comes along, doing favors for your dad, enjoying hobbies with him, and now you're mad that your husband isn't number one anymore. Am I close? Do you think she's jealous? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I an idiot for skipping New Year's Eve at my sister's house because she banned my kids? Last week I hosted Christmas for my family. I, male 33, have 2 years with my wife. Every year it's at my sister, parents, or my house, and it rotates every year. One of us hosts Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. In the last year my sister, who is vocally child-free, got a dog. I love my sister, but we are very much opposites. When I had my kid it changed our relationship a bit. She tolerates, her words, my son. She has never watched him. I've also never asked. My son is present at all family functions. This annoys my sister. My sister has turned into your classic dog mom. World revolves around the dog type. I do not own dogs, and really don't want to be around them. I don't want them in my house. While my sister wanted to bring her dog to Christmas, and I said no. It's well trained and overall okay for a dog. I just didn't want it at my house, or even my yard. She complied and left it alone, but was not happy about it and let me know that several times. The day before New Year's Eve, she told me kids weren't welcome at her house. I was taken back by this and asked why. She just said alcohol would be present. We all drink and family friends also come to this party, and just said it wouldn't be appropriate for a 2-year-old to be present. My wife and I had planned to only stay till 10 anyway and then would go home because of our kid. We reconsidered and opted to not go at all and respected my sister's wishes by keeping the kid at home. I let her know a half hour before the party started. Wife and I treated it like any other night. We didn't even stay up till midnight. By 11, I noticed missed calls from her and didn't answer. Fell asleep while texts started coming in. Calling me an idiot. Calling me a dog hater. Saying it was rude I didn't come to the party. Said it was bullshit that she got my kid a Christmas present but didn't get her dog anything. The list went on. She was clearly drunk. I tried to call her. She didn't answer and got a text. I'm not answering, asshole. So am I an idiot here? Update. So earlier today, I finally talked to my sister. In the past few days it had been drama-free, with some today. A few things to address. To be honest, I was pissed at my sister's rule. We had looked for a babysitter and the time we were informed no kids were coming when we said we weren't coming. All our usual baby sisters were going to the party, like our parents, aunts, and no one outside that usual crew was available. Hence the last minute no. For those asking when I told her no to the dog coming over on Christmas, I told her the day before, because that is when she asked. This is her first year with the dog, so I had no idea she had the expectation she would bring it. Apparently my mom told her to ask me first instead of just bringing it. She lives 10 minutes away. She's been vocal about not liking kids since she was a late teenager. She is child-free by choice as far as I know. So I got drunk texts because family members were disappointed my kid wasn't there, especially the ones that don't see my son that often. My sister told them she was trying to have no kids at the party. They were surprised by that since my sister has never hosted a party where the kids of the family were not invited. One other family member that has kids ended up having one stay home with their kid. So my sister did communicate this to more than just me. Seems like others weren't happy with her decision. We talked today and she is still mad about Christmas. Told me she wants me to accept her dog as family. I told her it can be family to you, but it isn't going to be family to me. It can be your everything, but it will never be to me. I told her my kid is more important than her dog. I'm not a dog person and will never be, and I just don't want it at my house. Apparently the attention my kid gets from family, including my mom, bothers her. It was clear from the beginning she wasn't going to be an involved aunt to my son, which makes me hurt and sad. But I didn't realize there was this much jealousy. I'm just going to give her space for a while then reach out. Not the idiot. This is sad. Wife and I are child-free, in our early 42nds, and are big-time dog people, but we'd never expect a family to treat our dogs as actual children and buy them gifts, and just allow them in their home without asking first. And while I'd love to live in a world where kids would not be at my home, 95% of my friends have them, and some are even pretty cool, so I learned to deal. I have still never held a baby though. To outright reject a child, especially a niece or nephew, is just cruel. Should she have gone without her kids? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I an idiot for not participating in my sister's funeral? I'm male 16. I live with my dad male 48, and his wife Annabelle female 30, and my half-sister Stacy female 6. At the end of November my cousin also male 16 died in an accident. I was there. He was my best friend. My aunt and uncle are devastated, although they have said a bunch of times it wasn't my fault. He was my cousin on my late mom's side and Stacy only met him a couple of times in passing. My sister has been kind of fascinated by what happened to Dally. She had never been to a funeral before. It started pretty much straight afterwards with her having funerals for her toys. Then a few weeks ago she started having funerals for herself. She lies down and says she's died, and then Annabelle says we have to dress nicely and come say nice things about Stacy. So she lies there while Annabelle cries about how much she will miss her, and then when we've said enough nice things Stacy gets up and says she's alive and it's over for another few hours. Yesterday she did this 3 times. I can't take much more of this. Annabelle says that Stacy is conceptualizing mortality for the first time and doing it in an incredibly creative way. And I need to be supportive. She says I already conceptualized it when my own mom died and I need to be less selfish. She says my negative flow is disrupting the energy of the house and I should go stay somewhere else if I can't contribute positively to the family dynamic. I would like to be anywhere else, but the only places I could go are my grandparents, mom's side, who live in a retirement community and are very old and sick, and my aunt and uncle, and although they say they don't blame me and they love me, I don't think they should have to be around me that much right now. So I should probably toughen up and just join in Stacy's funerals. After all, I am alive and all I have is a broken arm. Sorry, thanks for listening. Update. Thanks for the support last time. I kind of got in a bad spot after my last post and I took off by myself and I got in a weird headspace where I was trying to talk to my cousin and just thinking of how he'd answer because I knew him really well. Anyway, Annabelle's mom found me. She posted here too and she took me to her place and got my aunt and uncle. My uncle says that I half lived with them anyway and they wanted me home with them. It's been scary coming here because I feel like my cousin is going to come at any moment, but it's actually easier because my aunt and uncle both loved him too. Plus they actually talk to me so I don't get in my own head as much as I did at my dad's. They've also got me a therapist because they say we all need counseling. Therapist seems nice so far. Things are awkward with my dad. Think he took a lot of crap when Alice, Annabelle's mom, told everyone about what had been happening. He's mad at me because his boss yelled at him and now he thinks he won't get the promotion he was expecting. Annabelle's mommy friend saw my post too and now that's causing her problems. Oops. She wants us to do a guided meditation together to realign our relationship, but I told my uncle no and he agreed. They put Stacy in therapy on advice of her teacher and the first thing she said was she was only doing the funerals because she wanted to make me sad. I have decided I don't want to see her anymore. I'm okay. I miss my cousin. I think I always will. But I'm with good people and I will go to them for help next time and not strangers because I know that they will listen. TL, doctor, I moved to live with my aunt and uncle and my dad is pissed at it. I'm probably going to be leaving this account now as I need to focus on my real world people. But thanks for all the great advice, especially on how to keep connected to my cousin in a way that is healthy. I have actually noted down some ideas. To clarify, my dad is mad because A, people are mad at him but also cost when I spoke to him after I took off. He had a whole list of things I was going to have to do before he and Annabelle would let me come home and I just said no, I'm moving in with my aunt and uncle. We're not in C or anything but I don't think he will be in my life much now. But I'm not struggling with it the way I would have expected so it's okay. Not the idiot. Wow, I can't believe a 6-year-old can be so cruel. Annabelle, I'm sorry to say. Sounds nuts and maybe the feedback she's getting from friends and family will help her change her views on grief, growth and healing. Also, it's embarrassing that a teacher had to recommend therapy, and not her parents when she started having mock funerals. I'm glad you're getting help, and that you and your aunt and uncle have each other and can hopefully heal together. I'm so sorry for your loss. Not the idiot. It's atrocious that a child was that manipulative at that age. However, if you look at her mother, I imagine you can see partly why. I am so happy you're in a safe and nurturing environment now.